Yeah, let's pause.
1 second. I can't find how to put my.
It usually tells me. Anyway, I'm gonna assume it's good. Slideshow. All right. So, everybody's seen my slides? Yes, thank you. And I need to go ahead and make, yes, co-hosts for both of my co-hosts. So you guys could also allow people in. All right, so we want to welcome everyone to Environmental Fridays. This is season 9 of Environmental Fridays. It is personal. You can access and go to our website one of two ways. Either using the link that you see in the middle of the screen, or at the bottom right is our QR code that you could point your camera to and get to our website that way. So, not sure why this isn't showing me. Here we go. All right. So, other things that you can do in terms of being able to learn more about Environmental Fridays, at the top left corner, if you want to read some more about our guest speakers or co-hosts, see their photos and their bios there, you can use that QR code there. For past episodes on YouTube, we have now 140 episodes, all on YouTube. And to see them, you can again use the QR code at the bottom right. We also want to take this opportunity to thank our partners and co-sponsors, which includes Michigan Eagle, Caribbean Compass, ACS Committee on Minority Affairs. ACS stands for American Chemical Society. The Benton Spirit, which is a long-standing partner, and I'm actually live streaming from the offices of Benton Spirit. And like to add that this is a former residence or office of Al Capone. So that's an interesting historic fact. And then GC Scored is a social emotional wellness organization, also long-standing collaboration with them. Um, this today you will hear from our first speaker for November. We have a full lineup, and upcoming we have on next week Friday, citizen science and biodiversity. Then the following Friday, the 21st, biodiversity, extinction, and climate change. And so we have some really interesting presentations coming up, and we've had some really exciting presentations already for this season 9. One of the things I like to continue encouraging persons, if you have any thoughts, feedback, you're really excited about what you heard, and you want to share that with us, please do. Murray D at environmentalfridays.com. It doesn't have to be long. It could also be suggestions for future speakers. It could be like Elizabeth, someone who might be interested in having being a guest speaker in an upcoming session. So, whatever, we'd like to have you write to us, and so that could help us in terms of showing the impact of Environmental Fridays. So, as we mentioned before we started recording, we have two co-hosts today. And I'll introduce Nicole first. Nicole will be the one.
That's the president, and they have it. We have all of this, This is
Okay,
this didn't just
we need somebody to. Okay, here we go. Somebody was talking about the president. I don't know which president, but whatever. Um, Okay, so I'll start with Nicole, who will be the co-host that will introduce Jada today. So, Miss Madison is a native Michigander. What part of Michigan are you originally from,
I
Nicole?
was born down near, it's called Pontiac, down near Detroit, but I was
Oh,
raised
yeah.
up in the Pinky area, the
Oh,
Leelanau County area, Traverse City and Leland
okay.
area.
Yeah, it's beautiful up there. I've gone
It
up there a
sure
couple
is.
of times. Yeah, yeah, very beautiful up there. So she is has served as an Adventist, Seventh-day Adventist educator and administrator for the past 27 years. So long service, years of service. In her current role, she is Associate Director for Education in the Lake Union Conference. So Lake Union Conference covers Michigan, Illinois, Indiana. Yeah,
Yes, and Wisconsin, and
and
also the
Wisconsin.
Lake Region Conference.
Okay, good, good. And she finds joy in helping to equip others for ministry of education. She enjoys teaching and integration of technology in the classroom, inspiring others to live and to minister for Jesus. She's an avid hiker, a lake lover. Yes, I love the lakes too. Any body of water, I love. And um, during her spare time, she's been doing pickleball. I've seen pickleball. I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll pick that up too. I will see. Enjoy the outdoors. So yeah, lots of commonality here. I really do enjoy the outdoors myself. And she enjoys spending time with her husband and extended family that includes 7 grandchildren. Our next co-host is Professor Camille T. Dungy. And part of the reason why I really wanted her to be one of our guest speakers, which she will be next semester, is because of her award-winning book called Soil, The Story of a Black Mother's Garden. And it's something that is, I think I've heard some interviews of her on that book. So it's a very interesting backstory, and I look forward to hearing more about that. She's written 5 collections of poetry, most recently, Tropic Cascade, and the essay collection Guidebook to Relative Strangers, and a very important book as well. She's the editor of called Black Nature 4 Centuries of African American Nature Poetry. I think I have a copy of that book. And she co-edited from the Fish House Poetry and Anthology. She is a university distinguished professor at Colorado State University. She is a part of the Academy of American Poets fellowship. She has a Guggenheim fellowship. She's well recognized for her work and her prose and poetry. So she will be facilitating um, our Q&A here today. Thank you both for agreeing and being actually enthusiastic about co-hosting Jada's presentation today. So Nicole, you can go
Yes,
ahead.
thank you so much, Desmond. It is a real pleasure and honor here, a privilege to introduce our guest speaker today. Jada Ramjatan is a 15-year-old student attending Parvati Girls Hindu College, Debe, Trinidad. She
Mhm.
is a UNICEF Child Rights Ambassador, a National Youth Ambassador, a HEY or HEY Caribbean Ambassador, a 2024 National Youth Awardee for Leadership and Advocacy, a Sustainable Small Farmer, and a Renewable Energy Youth Ambassador. She is a community and social justice activist and a literary and environmental advocate. Her latest project is Vow 360, an initiative March 2025. The project emphasizes the interconnectedness of peace, climate action, health, and wellness. She is a visual artist, a solo vocalist, poet, monologist, storyteller, and actress. Her academic and career goal is to enter the field of biomedical engineering, specializing in regenerative tissue engineering to create artificial organs and body parts to assist victims of war and amputees. Jada, we just want to welcome you. And after reading that, I feel very much like I need to get busy and do something else with my life. That is quite impressive, young lady. We are so pleased to have you and excited to hear what you have to say today. Thank you again.
Very good. I'm gonna stop sharing. All right, Jada.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jada Ramjasan. Thank you for that lovely introduction. And I am the one who is delighted to be here today and talk to all of you all on this lovely platform. So, without further ado, I will share my screen to my PowerPoint presentation.
All right.
Okay, great. Let me know if you all are seeing my presentation.
Yes, we are.
Okay, lovely. So, during this presentation, I'll be talking about who, me, myself, and I. I know y'all will be hearing me say, oh, well, I did this and I did that. But my stories, and I did this and that, yes, because I hope they inspire others to do this and that. Copy my ideas and work for you yourselves and your businesses and organizations, and learn from my mistakes, all towards fulfilling our common goal of sustainable living. So, a little bit about myself. Hi, I've introduced myself. I'm Jada Ramjasan, and I am a Form 4 student, only 15 years old. I have several titles which I use to boost my passions and my advocacy through my country, Trinidad and Tobago. I have many passions, being social justice and youth advocacy, especially for the SDGs, environmental conservation, and sustainable living. These are driven by my roles and my goals, reinforced by my community. Right. So, y'all may have heard several titles when my dear mod hold on one second. Right. Y'all may have heard several titles while I was being introduced, right? But it's more than just a fancy pants title or a name put to a screen on social media. At 15 years old, via art, I traverse issues such as child rights, women's rights, and environmental awareness. I'm an artist and create environmentally conscious art in a conscious manner and often use non traditional or like unusual repurposed items. And I can only hope that the essence of each of my pieces will resonate with my viewers. My one goal is to impact people's social and cultural views as I humbly endeavor to translate my youthful visions into art. And I hope that art will chart my journey of self-development as as I evolve. So I mentioned my non-traditional use of features and repurposed items in my art, and one I'd like to showcase is my turmeric powder and a turmeric paste that I crushed and used in an Indian arrival art piece, which was also exhibited at the Rotunda Art Gallery of Trinidad and Tobago. Through my art, I advocate about issues that resonate deeply for me. This is seen on social media, where I advocate not only to the persons in the art gallery, but I hope to stretch my reach out to those on social media, because I have many interests, like we went through before, such as the environmental protection, child rights, and more. Here's a list of words that honestly capture my positive qualities. I live harmoniously with the environment. 5 acres, so I have a lot to do. I love so many different things. And also, I added in this little picture to show this is where I live. This is where I live. So it fosters such a great love for the environment from my family, from my community, and being in, as we call it, well, being in the land and planting with my dad is just something that fostered the love for the environment since I was probably about 6 years old. So these words are not just that describe me, but describe my environment, the people around me that have molded me into the person that I am. I'm a U-Reporter for Trinidad and Tobago. A U-Report is something you sign up for on WhatsApp, and you can choose to complete surveys which are relative to you. And in those surveys, you answer particular questions which will be used to inform advocacy for policies and support to that particular issue or for that matter. I'm a solo vocalist. I know I talk about being an artsy person, but that doesn't just extend to a canvas. I love using my voice, my projection, not only in solo vocalist pieces, but you all will see later down in my presentation that I am an actor as well. So I have used many different songs such as Heal the World by Michael Jackson, We Are the World by Michael Jackson for many different competitions. And even as you see, TTT, that is one of our television stations in Trinidad and Tobago. I've been showcased there multiple times for my singing and particularly for songs that evoke some sort of emotion about a particular issue or topic. Right. Okay, my mom is nudging me over here. She's like, sing a little piece now. So I don't know if y'all want to hear a little piece. Do y'all want to hear?
Yes, yes, we do.
Okay, okay.
Without a doubt.
Okay. So, okay. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying. If you care enough for the living, make a better place for you and for me. Okay, that's all you're getting, okay?
Okay.
That's all you're getting.
Michael Jackson would be proud.
Oh, that's all I can wish for. So moving swiftly on from that moment, I'll say I mentioned my home and my environment around me that formed me to be who I am today. And through that, my mom and my dad taught me to try to live a sustainable lifestyle. And I grew up in a home that practiced this constantly. So here I listed some key principles over there. Y'all can take a read. And I'd like to say a few examples of the sustainable practices that we implemented in our homes. So we conserved water and energy. That could be as simple as turning off lights whenever you leave a room, and consumption. When we're grocery shopping, we bring our own bags, no uses of plastic bags. We also look for minimal packaging, and we also shop at local markets. For example, there's Daybay Market right next to my school. So on a Thursday market day after school, we run on over and I get all my favorite veggies and all my favorite produce from local vendors. Waste management. I use reusable items such as water bottles, coffee cups, and we also compost organic waste and we recycle whenever possible. We also try to go paperless and try not to print as many things. For example, instead of using textbooks sometimes, the ones I can find online, I would use the online textbooks more than just purchasing a hard copy textbook. And right. Also, I talked about conserving water and energy, turning off lights, turning off water too. And then we also invested in renewable energy sources like solar panels. You can find them all over our house. Plus, when designing our home, my parents made sure to put in huge windows for natural light sources. Great. Hold on one sec. There we go. Right. And lastly, recycling books. I have been a part, well, IK has been a part of me for as long as I can remember, for recycling plastic solid waste. And we have several bins at school, which have also made me be more conscious even on a daily basis, because my school provides many plastic bins around our school for me to constantly have that reminder in the back of my head, just dispose of whatever you can properly when we can, to preserve all we can, if you understand what I'm saying. With my sustainable living, I also, let's be realistic about this, I can't be a farmer on my own, but I have many other things like school and stuff to manage, but I try to help my parents as they're moving along with their little journey as small farmers. And this is to show you that you don't have to start big or need to do everything at a large scale. This is simply, so when I talked about my where we live, and that there's a lot of fertile soil and there's a lot of land. So what we would do is we'd plant a lot of fruit trees, vegetable trees, and we'd even plant provisions such as edibles. This right here, if you all can see my cursor, this is
Yeah, go
uh,
back.
my,
Go.
this is an Edo's plant.
Okay.
These are pieces of ginger. These we planted 10 pomerac trees so that we can, even when it doesn't bear, some do bear, and we get the benefits. We reap the benefits, and then we can sell our produce as well. This is the ginger, which we can. There's a part of the ginger called the eyes of the ginger. That's a little spot at the end, which you cut off and then you put in a plate. Well, we use a plate of water, and that is after just 2 weeks to replant our ginger. Also, these are our eggs. We had after COVID. So funny story. When COVID first came out and everybody was like, "Oh, it's not a big deal," and they were not really preparing or anything, my mom and my parents took it seriously. So we had started stocking up, doing what we had to do, and when school started to close down, we had a lot more free time home rather than going out. So I used to go by the agriculture shop near my house, and there were these little baby chicks. So it started off with one baby chick, but then it got big and it couldn't be in the house. So I got another and another and another. So we ended up with about 30 something chickens, which are now free range. We still have them, and we feed them totally naturally, organically. And then after my chicken pet situation, I moved on to ducks. So now we have about 5 ducks, and that is where my little farm started. So now we have chickens, ducks, rabbits, a huge tortoise. I love animals, so I have 8. Well, you could say I have 7 because I adopt the village dogs as well. So I have like 7 dogs, including my adorable Siberian Husky. So that's just a highlight there about my sustainable living. And you may ask, well, how do I do all of these things? How does this girl, 15 years old, do these things without, misbalancing? I say it's all about balance. I love to dance. I've shown you my singing, but I will not show you my dancing. Okay, so that is something I will keep private. So I love to dance.
Funny.
Thank you. Get it from my dad. And I go to beaches for my mental health. I advocate for youth mental health. So I have to understand that taking care of myself first will allow me to even better project my views and my different ideas and initiatives to the public to enhance their sense of living and youth mental health in general. And through this, I have attended many and training sessions and workshops concerning this topic. So it has made me equipped to deal with youth who have mental health challenges, and it has also made me equipped to even notice small things or behavioral changes in my classmates, my peers, and everyone in my surrounding. So I would definitely recommend to anyone to get some sort of training so you can notice and be aware of those around you, especially your loved ones, to find something before something happens, as one of my trainers used to say. And another thing I do for my relaxation is I go to Tranquility Beauty Spa. This is a shout out to my lovely masseuse, my everything, Auntie Candice. She owns a spa and she's just a delightful lady. Oh, and I love self-care. So this is my favorite place to do that. And with my love for beaches comes the responsibility of us to take care of it, which I enjoy more than anything. Actually, I love a lot of things. I think you all will hear me saying that so many times because I have so many passions that I'm so excited to talk about today. So, this was the ICC on October, just last month, when I returned from India. We'll talk about why I went to India a little lower down in my presentation. I don't want to let it out, no spoilers. So this is the ICC International Coastal Cleanup, and together we cleared over 3,700 pounds of garbage at Foreshore Lookout. That, if that's not something worthy of a round of applause, I don't know what is, because we worked so hard, and I didn't even know, because that day it was sort of rainy. We didn't know if it was going to happen, if we were gonna get high tides, so that it'll not allow us to go down and make sure to clean up properly. But we all went, we showed up, and this is just a portion of the persons who were there that day. I was so thrilled and inspired to see how many people were there and came together for something they truly care about, something that they think is important, and that we all share in common: the love for our environment. Hold on. Sorry. Right. So next, that leads me to talk about the Palmies Park Revitalization Project. So I was an integral part of this project, as I was talking about my surroundings, and my parents and I used to do annual Easter egg hunts at Palmies when I was younger. That made me love the environment, but also, as I was younger, I was noticing, wow, this is what people are doing to our environment. This is, you have to watch where you sit when you go to this place where it's supposed to be a lovely, thrilling environment that's supposed to be natural and safe for kids to run around and play. And it was being littered, it was being torn apart. And as we see here, the Palmies pond was dry for years, polluted for months, but we and the Palmies Park Action Committee and many other organizations, in collaboration with us, were able to restore the pond and even put more plants and fishes inside. I was absolutely, I was taken aback by the amount of support that this particular initiative got, and I'm so glad I was able to be a part of this beautiful exercise. We even replanted, I think I have a picture in here somewhere. This one was us making our second. There was a butterfly garden, and my mom and I just love butterflies so much. So I was so happy to go about doing that kind of initiative. Next, I'm part of the Trinidad and Tobago Field Naturalist Club. We would have mentioned Mrs. Elizabeth. I'm so glad to support this, and it's a volunteer nonprofit organization, and its main goal is to bring together persons interested in natural history and the conservation of nature and natural resources. This is the Junior Botanist book where my artwork was featured. Many of my pieces were featured in this book. It was published and it is for sale on Amazon. And this is one of my pieces that got in here. And at the time, I was 12 years old. A BioBlitz is an event that focuses on finding and identifying as many species as possible in a specific area over a short period of time, usually 24 hours. And each year, the Trinidad and Tobago Field Naturalist Club hosts its BioBlitz at different parts of Trinidad and Tobago. This year it was at Maracas, and my first BioBlitz was held during COVID, I think, during the last 2 weeks of August, and it was a perfect wrap up to the July-August vacation. I was 11 years old, and I was awarded a prize since it was online. I ran around my yard. I went to as many places as I could, and my parents were running after me like, oh, look, a butterfly, or look at this or that. I'm like, yes. So I was thrilled when I was awarded a prize based on enthusiasm and the greatest number of observations recorded. Next, I'm a UNICEF Child Rights Ambassador, a CRA, and I do lectures at schools across Trinidad and Tobago. I've pledged to champion the cause of my peers and communities as a CRA, and I'm raising awareness about children's rights, promoting positive change, and inspiring my peers to stand up for what they believe in. These are some photos from different presentations I had, from trainings and different Activate talks. CRA talks to youth focus on mental health, development, and right to a clean, healthy environment. But I also make sure to tie in that it's not only a right to a clean environment, but it's also the responsibility that the children have to care for their environment as well. I also have my Learn to Love Literacy initiative since 2023, which is still ongoing. I'm a literacy advocate and live sustainably by recycling textbooks, magazines, and novels, even using some soft copy, as I would have mentioned before. I find reading a crucial skill, and I find it very important, and I feel every child has the right to be educated, to learn to read, and have the opportunity. And one SDG I am very passionate about is SDG 4, which is quality education, to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. So I've collaborated with my district's counselors and schools and communities to collect, sort, sanitize, and redistribute books through Trinidad and Tobago. And I have my little lending libraries. Those are little structures I built by hand with the help of my dad, of course, that are in migrant children areas. I even have some shelves in some pharmacies and a dental office across Trinidad and Tobago where people can come, well, children can come, take a book, and leave a book. And this is an ongoing cycle. If I have a set of books in one area, I will recollect from there, resanitize everything, and bring to another location. So these are just some pictures. This is a migrant Spanish school that I had started to support probably a year ago, and I've been supporting them throughout this year, and it's just beautiful to see how much they've grown, because they've grown before my eyes. They have become so versed and in love with literature, and they love when I tell them stories, particularly because I am a monologuist and a storyteller, which is probably why I love literacy so much. On May 28th, 2023, I was honored for community service. This is for my free little lending libraries, where I distributed the books to underprivileged kids. I also did clothing drives for flood victims, and that is not only back in 2023. I was with TTN, Trinidad and Tobago Youth Advocacy Network, who did clothing drives recently this year, and I was an integral part of it, leading the cause. Also, I did toy drives for the migrant children. And recently, I was a part of the Interacts collection of canned goods and etc. most necessary for the Jamaica's people who were going through the hurricane. And sorry. Okay, yes. Thank you. Great. Next, my National Youth Award. I was so grateful to be a National Youth Award recipient for leadership and advocacy. Being a leader for vast initiatives and advocating for things I'm passionate about. This was surely a proud moment for me. And the leadership and advocacy leads me to talk about my leadership styles. I believe that I implement. Oh, excuse me for 1 second. Sorry. So, my leadership styles. I combine many different leadership styles, and I feel like I'm still developing. As I say here, I'm not perfect. I'm far from being perfect, and I doubt anyone is. But I will still do my best I possibly can to push forward with resilience when I am put to a task. So, this is a reminder for everyone to just keep trying and don't stress too much. And I'm still developing my leadership skills, still adjusting to whichever task I have and finding the best style that works for me. And I put in here just to the bottom my class mummy award from last year, from my form class actually. So we all had a little award ceremony when our class had to split up, and they awarded me the class mummy award because I was always there when somebody needed me, and they considered me their leader, if you will. But I feel I was just honored to receive that. No matter is it, I can't even express how my heart was bursting at that moment because you weren't told what award you had before the ceremony. So I was almost in tears. It was, I would say, it's on the same level as my National Youth Award. That was one of the best, proudest moments that I had. And with everything with leadership styles, I have my morals and my values. Because you have to know what your morals are, what are the rules you live your life by, and what is important to you to really design your leadership styles. And I spoke about my family influencing me, but what else does that? My school environment. So I want to talk a little bit about that. I would say my school environment was a pivotal part of shaping me since Form 1 up to now. Of course, I'm academically successful in that era, but my school has afforded me the opportunity to lead clubs which have developed my leadership skills, which have shaped me as not only a leader but a follower for many different things, such as being part of the Rotary Interact Club, leading my own club for probably 4 terms, and have awarded me certificates of commendations for my academic successes. All of these root me on to be the person that I am, and it keeps me on my toes, I would say, because they're always looking for an area where I can help out, or where my expertise, as they would like to say, is needed. And I'm always so glad to help out with my school environment. And here's some things my school has done. For Diwali this year, actually, last month, to decorate our classrooms. This was an annual competition. I've known it was in my school since I've entered school back in 2022. And this year had a special highlight for recycled items. So my school, um, as I said with the bins and everything before, we're always egged on to be environmentally sustainable. As well as my class, we used CDs this year, and we made several dias at the back of my classroom. We made lanterns. We used plastic bottles and tins and labels from different packages to decorate our classroom, as well as reused malas for Diwali. And we successfully placed second, and we won a pizza. That was the best result. We got a pizza. We didn't get it yet. We postponed it to the end of this term so we can have our beautiful class party and our pizza all in one. So that's just I'm so glad that our school rewards us in ways that we think is so fun. It's a fun activity that promotes great stuff, that fosters collaboration and friendships between the class, that makes us so cohesive and also brings us together for a common cause of using recycled items or being sustainable. We also have a reusable energy area using solar power in agriculture cultivation. In one of the clubs, they visit that quite often and care for it. We also have a junk art club as a creative arts club at school. Our creative art clubs take place every Tuesday from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So there are shortened periods during. So our school has 7 periods in a day. On those days, we have shortened periods where each period is decreased by a 10 minute interval or so that from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock we can do our clubs. I ran debate club and many other clubs over the past few terms, and I am elated to be in the Read Aloud and Role Play Club as of current, helping out where I can, and also which drives my great sense of love for books, and that we also collect a large amount of books from students of the school to take to do something very similar to my initiative, the little lending libraries. We now have our own little lending library in school where students can go take a book and leave a book. And last but not least, the Climate Quest, a board game, was officially launched on November 17th, 2015 by Parvati Girls Hindu College. The game pieces, if you all can see over here on this side by my cursor, the game pitches the causes, effects, and solutions to climate change on small island states like Trinidad and Tobago. Renewable energy, eco-friendly practices, and local as well as regional place names are highlighted through the game. And it's also packed full of local references like Susu, Hurricane Bacchanal, and Leatherback Turtle Love. Climate Quest was developed with funding from GEF Small Grants Program at the United Nations Development Program. So these are several reasons, not all, but several, which I'm very proud to be a student of Parvati Girls Hindu College. So I am a renewable energy ambassador with Renewable Power Caribbean. They featured me on International Women's Day, which is where I got this clipping from, and I was part of this set initiative. My call to action speeches to several of the schools and classes which I visited were inspiring to many, and I try to relate to these children because I am around the same age. Some of us have the same goals, and I hope that my journey can inspire them that age is not just a limitation or anything like that. You can do anything you wish to if you want to. Many people look at me and say, well, oh, she does so much. Isn't she tired? Is she? As long as you love what you're doing, which I most definitely do, it's not a task. It's your daily life. It's implemented into you, which is what my life is to me. So I hoped that each of these sessions provides students with valuable insights into renewable energy sources, their benefits, and their importance in creating a sustainable future. As a renewable energy ambassador, I spoke at various schools to youths, and I had the opportunity of speaking to about maybe over 6 in Trinidad within a couple months. At my school, again, I'll bring up cultivating innovation with agrivoltaic. Right. Hold on 1 second. Excuse me 1 second again. Ay. Oh, having a scratchy throat is no joke. Okay, so we're thrilled to share an update on the incredible system at Parvati Girls Hindu College. And this project was made possible by PowerGen and Renewable Power Caribbean. So this powerful organization, I was so happy to be in collaboration with to do these set initiative talks at different schools, as it's helped even my school develop their systems so much. So innovation and creativity. Plastic pollution solution. This is something I had to make at school, but I'll touch on that in a second. It's the cutter, a plastic bottle cutter that helps repurpose bottles and saves the environment. The concept behind the model is that I conceptualize a simple machine which has few or no moving parts to make the work even easier. It had to help in reducing the effort needed to perform the task while making work more efficient. The work was cutting up a 1 liter plastic bottle into string. It is a low-tech repurpose of plastic. The cutter innovates by packing the concept into a compact, practical device. There is no need for a special table, reel, or other more complex instruments, and it's easy to keep on a shelf. So, I chose to make string as it's economical and versatile. It has high strength, it's water resistant and buoyant. It can be used to tie, bind, or hang objects. It's upcycled and used for various crafts and DIY projects. And it can be used for creating bracelets, necklaces, lanyards, chains, and other DIY decorations. Trust me, we also used these for class decorating in the past. It can be used to level ground in construction, also brooms, baskets, and door curtains. In addition, plastic string can be used for tying plants, fishing, clotheslines, and even as a substitute for rope in certain situations. So this was a project I had to do for school for entrepreneurship last term when I was in Form 3. And this is a mandatory project, that each student has to, once they reach into Form 3, they have to create a product, and the mark scheme is also heavily marked on being either repurposed, recycled, or repurposed, recycled, or reused items, and something that can help plastic pollution. So plastic bottles around 80% worldwide end up in landfills. That's why I chose this project, and I found it very applicable to Trinidad and Tobago, where our wildlife and our planting is very vast, as we can use it for all of these different things. So I'll move on to being a monologuist, spoken word artist, and a poet. For being a CRA, Child Rights Ambassador, I was a finalist in the Child Rights Ambassadors program of the Gender and Child Affairs Division, and UNICEF awarded Best Southie Advocate. I also led a poetry group to a poetry competition on behalf of our school, which we placed first in. I'm also in theatrical productions, local theatrical productions, such as different plays like Brighter Sun, and also designing costumes is right up my alley. The CN, the Caribbean Youth Environment Network. So I have someone here today from the CN. We did many different things, including going to a plant and hike, and this is I just keep making jokes, don't I? But I have to bring this up. When I went to this event, it was pouring rain. We didn't even know if it was gonna be successful, if it was gonna start at all, because it was pouring cats and dogs, and it was in deep south. That is, to say the least, that is jungle. So I slipped when I was planting, I slipped and I actually almost fell into a hole. So the huge, because we're planting trees, there's holes, and I stepped into it and I almost fell. But thankfully, I had my environmental partner Savant to pull me out of that hole, including my mom as well. But that's just to show it doesn't matter. We're not here for the looks, the glitz, the glamour, the nothing. We're not here to show up, show out, or be something. You can go. We're not average. We showing up means that you care, and showing up means that you prioritize things that are important to you, like the environment, which should be important to everyone. So you don't need to be in any way versed in this, because surely I met many people who have never planted a tree before. You don't need to know how. You need to surround your people in places that can make the initiative successful. And the goal was successful because we planted over 2,500 trees that day. So next, the Hey campaign. It would have been mentioned that I am a Hey, healthy, environmentally friendly youth ambassador for the Caribbean. And my insights were different. I had to overcome so many challenges, and I had to come up with different projects, which is probably where my idea for the Little Lending Libraries sprouted in the first place. With that came many challenges because it had to be implemented across Trinidad and Tobago. But I learned quickly that success is not a doorway, it's a staircase by Dottie Walters. So this helped me to understand better that it's not failure, it's setbacks. And even though you may have setbacks, you always just rise from it and become even better, because your end goal is to restore the environment, to make a difference in child rights, to do an amazing accomplishment. Anything you want to do, you can do if you put your mind to it. So these are reasons I became a Hey ambassador, and I've had opportunities to lead projects that promote environmental sustainability and health, engage with other young leaders globally, and advocate for policies that protect our planet and well-being. It made me it allowed me to make a tangible difference and inspire others to join the movement for a resilient and sustainable future. Hey Ambassadors focus on community engagement, leadership and advocacy, collaboration and monitoring and reporting. I was so glad to meet so many different people my age and even older and younger than me who had the same passion, shared it, and were willing to collaborate to make a difference and to engage with people not only on a national basis but regional basis, as well as make so many new friends, because that I love making friends and I love meeting people and having diverse conversations. So the importance of to youths. The involvement of youth in initiatives like the Hey campaign is crucial for several reasons, especially in the context of building a resilient future. And this is something I bring up in every talk and lecture I do. Next, my Trini EcoSep CT booth display to educate about good environmental practices and the dangers of single-use plastics to the earth. Sustainable Development Goals. During my online training period, we look at SDGs. The Sustainable Development Goals, which resonate most deeply with me, was SDG 7, 11, and 13. Climate action and climate change, and caring for the environment. It is one of my great passions that drives my advocacy for youth and for environmental awareness. I'm an environmentalist with my Go Green campaign. I'm a member of the Field Naturalist Club of Trinidad and Tobago, the Wildfowl Trust, for probably before I was born. My mom was part of that organization for a very, very long time, and a Hey Youth Ambassador. And I believe that I was greatly influenced by my parents in loving advocacy and environmental protection, because my mom is a lawyer. So I didn't think she's chuckling on the side because I don't think she expected me to say that. But I feel like I got my love for advocacy and advocating for what I am passionate about and different issues that affect me and the other youths from her fiery spirit and her defensive nature and her lovely sense of vocabulary, because I have noticed that she has been teaching me since I was born about different things like this. So, shout out to mommy. And these are the pictures of my TT EcoSteps booth. These included not only posters and stuff like that, but other ways we can repurpose items. I made games like ring toss, as we can see here if you follow my cursor. We made ring toss out of plastic bottles and reusable bottles to let kids have a fun sense of learning about what is wrong and what is right for our environment, as well as beanbag toss. And I taught a few of them how to make these desk organizers out of plastic bottles and bleach bottles. And also for a good few children's events, I dressed up as Princess Eco Ivy. And this really got them excited. So many people and children took pictures with me that day. And I could see that my booth was making a difference, which is, of course, my end goal, to really make that difference not only in people who can make a difference now, but who can make a difference in future, because the youth is who we leave everything to, if you can understand what I'm saying. It's not up to us, it's up to them. And through these initiatives, I have been able to talk at many different summer camps and such as Net Zero, and I was so glad to showcase my booth at this event. I practice advocacy through art. As you guys know, I'm an artist, and it's a powerful form of expression that goes beyond just creating beautiful pieces. This is an article on when I was interviewed at the NCIC Nagar, where so many of my pieces were exhibited. My advocacy through arts 2023 was showcased in Newsday, our newspaper, national paper, in May 2023, as well as this is an OPR competition, which was about environmental sustainability and sustainable practices, which I won second place for, if I can remember. Yes, second place for that competition. This was with the OPR and of Trinidad and Tobago, and I'm an amateur photographer. This is a picture I took in the background there. The European Union to Trinidad and Tobago and the Photographers Guild of Trinidad and Tobago hosted its award ceremony for the Photo Art Competition 2024 at NAPA, National Academy for the Performing Arts, and I was awarded second prize amongst these very talented and wonderful group of artists. And I volunteer my time to make my country a better place with my Let's Do Better TT campaign. I do Art Speaks, which is a free lecture service for July, August. And I also use my training from Child Rights Ambassadors and Hey Healthy Environmentally Friendly Youth Caribbean Ambassadorship to use my knowledge to enrich others and for children. And these were some pictures. This is from my Art Speaks talk at a primary school and, sorry, a summer camp. And the topics were to learn about child rights, to beat plastic pollution, and about the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, recycle. And these are different pictures from my art. This was one of my first times being exhibited in a national gallery. Was when I was 12 at the Rotunda Art Gallery. I mentioned earlier that I use very out of the box, if you will, materials, and I decided to use masks. So if you can see at the back here, this is a part of one of my pieces. It was a 3-set piece. The unmasking the ocean jellyfish, the jellyfish, angelfish, and seahorse. So I used single-use disposable face masks, which I saw getting into the oceans after COVID constantly, and I had stopped on the side of the one long a set of streamers or something like that was on the um highway, and it blew right off of somebody's truck in front of us, and they didn't come to pick it up or anything. So we just went along, we picked it up, we sanitized it, and later I ended up using it in that same art piece. So that is just to go to show how different things that you never thought would be art could be art.
Hey, Jada,
Yes.
give us about 2, 3 more minutes so we could do a Q&A.
Yes, no problem.
All right.
Right. So great. So these were the pieces. And then I have my Voice of Wellness 360, where I did Facebook Lives every Friday evening at 7:30, where I did different pieces on different days, like Vitamin C Day, etc. And I will introduce myself as Miss Teen India Worldwide Trinidad and Tobago 2025 to 2026. And this is why I went to India, actually. I don't know if you'll remember, I mentioned that earlier. That I attended the International Coastal Cleanup after I returned to India because I competed internationally in Mumbai, India, in August. Right. This organization locally is Pageant Worldwide Trinidad and Tobago, managed by Neha Karina, acclaimed fashion designer. They highlight environmental projects and have in past partnered with Safe Soil TT. I was able to amplify my advocacy using this platform with the support of the pageant. My part sponsor was Cerealki Marketing and Industrial Services Limited. Cerealki is a privately owned and operated enterprise with offices strategically located in the Caribbean and the United Kingdom. Our organization is committed to delivering cutting-edge solutions encompassing mechanical joint integrity assurance and addressing civil mechanical engineering challenges. And this is my call to action. We need you, our viewers. We need you to take action because we can't change the world alone. We need everyone to collaborate, and we need an effective force to change the world. And this is where I'll close and say thank you for listening. Congratulations. Your presence here means you are a change maker. These are my social media handles and my contact information. So thank you once again, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Professor Dungy?
Thank you so much for that really comprehensive presentation about the things that you are doing and this wonderful proof that we take action by taking initiative. I see a hand already from Lynn. So do you have a question, Lynn?
Oh, yes. This is fascinating. I wonder where if our speaker really goes to school or does she sleep?
No, she said in
Or,
one of those
or,
panels that she often gets the highest marks in class.
or then does she sleep? Jada, I'm so excited, and I'm here in Trinidad, and this is the first time I'm hearing about you. Um, but so thank you very much, Desmond, for highlighting that. But I have a question. One quick question about that instrument you said the
The
plastic
cutter.
cutter.
The cutter, yeah.
Have you patented that? Do you have a patent on it?
Sorry?
Do you have a patent on
do you have a
your
patent
plastic
on
cutter?
your plastic cutter? And is this something you
Oh,
want to
no.
develop and market?
I don't think, maybe in future. I'm not sure if I'm quite there yet. It was only meant to be a prototype, but I guess in future that would be something so inspiring and so exciting that I'd look forward to.
I think you should patent it now.
Yeah.
Whether
She has an attorney already.
you bet,
Oh
yeah.
my.
But
My.
really, really great, really wonderful, wonderful presentation.
And Lynn, just to follow up, she could be a student at USC.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Just
absolutely, she can be.
Yes,
stay in touch with her, Lynn.
Yeah.
yes. Oh, and also you mentioned, oh, do I sleep? No, I have grunge days. At least like 2, 3 times a month, my mom and I do nothing for one entire day. No activities, no nothing. We put on some Netflix. We just we that's the day I can do whatever I want. Even if I want to do work, I have the option to, but I don't. So I just take that complete day of rest. So that's how I make it through.
Good. That is good to know because rest is also an important part
It
of being
is.
able to do this work
Yes.
in a sustainable way.
Yes,
So,
exactly. Exactly.
are there other questions from the audience?
So I think I saw Karina on earlier. You mentioned Karina at one point. But Nicole, do you have comments or questions?
I just wanted to say, Jada, that one of my favorite sayings is change requires change. And that's what you're
Hmm.
doing. You're coming at things from different angles and trying to find different solutions for old problems. And I really appreciate that. It's just so inspiring. And I'm glad this is recorded. I'll be recommending that many groups watch this. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
Very
you.
good. I wonder if you do have, if you do take short videos like reels of your environment. You showed us a picture of where you live. I enjoy doing that when I go on nature walks. It's taking short videos of different things, and it sounds like you have plants and animals and all of that. Do you take short videos or reels of your surroundings and stuff?
Yes, of course I do. I have a YouTube channel and I've actually did a course with Screen of Trinidad and Tobago, which
Okay.
focused on the SDGs, where we had to make different projects like that of our environment.
What's the YouTube channel, you know, link?
Just my name. Oh, hold
On
on. Let
YouTube?
put all of
Okay.
that. Yes, just my name.
On YouTube. Okay, good, good, good. I'll check it out.
I see a
Okay.
question from Dr. Hines.
Yes, thank you so much. Wow, I didn't think that we would have the energy for questions because we've circled the globe a couple of times and we are just sipping water right now. Thank you so much for your presentation, Madame. I am concerned about your network. Are there peers in your age group, your country, your travels? Have you connected with folk that you continue to connect to from time to time? And how are they doing, if so?
Yes, we all know that a network is one of your most important things. As she said, change leads to change. Uh, I find that having your support group around you is so integral to making a difference, and therefore I have my friends backing me, supporting me, my family, my community. But not only that, I love to travel, so I make international friends who have the same passions as me and who are willing to put in the work in their countries as well and implement some of my ideas where they are to make a difference. So yeah, a lot of my friends and I do keep in touch internationally, regionally, and locally to collaborate on these different initiatives.
Just totally exciting. It's great to hear from Dr. Archer, the provost at the University of the Southern Caribbean. I am going to book my ticket to come to anything organized on the campus of USC by you and your network.
Me too.
Yes,
Hmm.
very good. So that's to follow up. How do you get in touch with all these different groups? Because you've mentioned different things and different groups that you became a part of and all of that. How do you just reach out to them? Like I reached out to, different speakers. How do you do that?
Right. So social media drives a lot of things in this day and age, so I feel like I would have seen most of these different groups
Online.
online.
Okay.
And since it's like I click on most of these things and I'm involved in most of these things online, it's recommended to me
Mhm.
by different people that I know and I've met along the line. So that's how I get in touch with different organizations as such.
So, as a follow-up, you talked about establishing a butterfly garden. I think was this the one with Florshaw or Palmistry? I can't remember where.
Oh, Palmis Park, yes.
Palmy's Park. Have you heard about the garden with wings at the Botanical Garden in Trinidad? Because that's another thing. Yeah, you have?
Yes, yes, I have. We have so many beautiful things in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm so privileged to have explored a lot of different places with my parents.
Yes, so Patricia McGaw on here is part of that organization with Garden with Wings. And I also know Serena as well, who is a leader in that garden. So if that's another connection that you would like to make, um, we could get you hooked up. Patricia, do you want to say anything? McGaw?
Well, quite frankly, I'm overwhelmed that I think this was an absolutely incredible. Um, if you wish to visit the garden or just have a look, then it's not a bad idea. You might pick up some ideas for what to plant in Palm East Park as well. It's we have a viable working butterfly garden,
Mm-hmm.
and with if you're there at the right time, you can actually see the total life cycle. We have recorded it of butterflies, so
Mm-hmm.
you can see it through their various stages, and we have recorded these.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no, I mean that is at the present moment that is our major project of the Friends of Botanic Gardens, and it's in the northern part of the Botanic Gardens, Royal Botanic Gardens, Trinidad.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you for that warm invite. Yes, and me too. My mom is a plant lady, but I guess I take from her too because we've got a lot of butterfly attracting plants like that. So I'd be glad to be in touch with you, see if we can donate some, and see when we can come by.
Mhm. I mean, it's open anytime. As long as
Mm,
the botanic garden is open, you can walk right in and, visit it. So it doesn't necessarily have to have a formal invitation. The invitation would be maybe so that, Pat could accompany you or somebody from there could accompany you. But I mean, I just, in Trinidad, I just get on a bus and just drive down, to the
mm,
botanic gardens and just visit.
yes.
Yeah.
The formal part was I don't think they'd allow me to just bring a shovel and plant the
Oh
plants.
no,
So
no, not for that. No, no.
that's what I was
Yeah.
talking.
Yes, yes. Not for
Yes, so we
that.
will be in touch. We'll be in touch.
Elizabeth?
Thank you. Actually, Elizabeth is on the line as well, and she's probably at various meetings we've been. I quite regularly mention the butterfly garden, and
Yes.
the Field Naturalist Club has been very supportive of our activity
Oh.
in the botanic gardens.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Jada. Um, it's good to see what you are involved in. I didn't know that you were doing so much. I also wondered when did you get time to go to school and do homework? But my questions to you are, given your current work given your current passions and what you are building, that the legacy that you are building. What projects are you currently working on with children, or do you have something like a long-term project that you wanna to work on? So not like a short term, but are you looking or currently looking or might be doing it now to work on like a long-term project to produce maybe long-term results? And that's my first question. The second question is, where do you hope to take this in the next 3 years?
The long-term result I'm looking for is probably one to make a book, write my first book because I love writing. Write my own monologues, poems, everything. I do have my constant ongoing projects out of the book collections in Trinidad and Tobago, and I would love, love, love to put one of my own books in there to be circulated as well.
Well, Professor Camille, isn't that like up your alley right there?
I love it. I love to see it. I love the little lending libraries, sharing
Yes.
literacy, the kind of attention and knowledge in that way is so important. I was interested how you were recycling the books since people like tear books apart and make art from it, but I like the idea of recycling as handing over as
Yes.
opposed to, yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
honestly, sometimes donated books are like really wrecked, but as long as I take from good sources, people I know, and also it's properly sanitized, and we look through each and every one of the books, me and my team, before we send them out to any locations.
Yeah, that's
So in
great.
terms in terms of writing your own book, Jada, you might want to stay in touch with Professor Camille. She's done a few herself. And as that one I think I do have a copy of called Soil. Um, that is a book that might be of interest, not only for the subject matter, but for how it was put together, And reading different authors, like Professor Dungy, is a way of creating your own, coming up with your own voice, seeing what others have done, and then going off of that. So I would suggest talking to her and keeping in touch with her.
That's a lovely idea. I most definitely will.
Elizabeth?
Yeah. So Jada, my last question I had, where do you see yourself in the next 3 years?
My, with the amount of things I've been doing and where I've reached so far, I feel like the possibilities are endless. I feel like I'm going to keep working on myself, building myself and my talents, and using it to make a difference. As I said multiple times before, I've mentioned that phrase. But in the next 10 years, I think I would want to have completed CSEC, completed CAPE, be in the United Nations. As my what would I call it? My ideal job was called out beforehand, biomedical engineer. I feel like those are my long-term goals, but short-term, build myself, increase my network, make a difference, and I honestly don't know how far I will reach because a year ago, even up to a few months prior to the pageant, I would not have thought, wow, I was going to represent my country internationally in Mumbai, India. I never would have thought that that was going to be me. So I think possibilities beyond endless. It's reaching to outer space. Maybe I can be an astronaut. Who knows? But I do know that I'm gonna further myself and increase my network and make great relationships along the way.
Have you thought about what colleges and stuff you might want to go to?
Oh,
Because
not
are you going to take CAPE? You're going to take CAPE, right? You're going to do CAPE,
most likely, yes.
and then after CAPE would come college. So
University of the Southern Caribbean, you said.
I know I'm prodding. I'm prodding. Yes.
I since I was a little girl. Well, I'm still a little girl, but when I was younger, I always envisioned myself studying abroad.
Okay. All right. But you could get a really good foundation, at home, just like
Yes,
I did that
always
too.
keeping it open.
Yep, got a very good foundation. I think I was referring to that earlier with my chemistry teacher, Dr. Ribeiro, who is online here. So don't, I mean, I did come abroad as well to study, but the foundation that I got both at CUC, USC, as well as at St. George's College was definitely invaluable in taking off, so start local. Just like
Yes.
you said, buy local, start local.
Yes. My plan was local first degree, and then my
Yes,
grad I do abroad.
yes, yes, yes. Other comments, questions? No, we have lots of people online here.
Have we had the privilege of seeing Mom?
Oh, yes.
Thank
Hold on.
you. Thank you so much.
We have started fixing her hair. She is like this right now.
Yes, she's Mom, isn't she? Matters not with the hair. What a beauty.
Yes,
No. She's
I had
that
a
she went away so quickly.
Come in. Come in.
yeah, I
They
had
want
the privilege of speaking with Mom too.
Absolutely.
Hold on 1 second, though. Hold on 1 second. Okay, there we go.
Yes.
There you go. Oh my goodness. What a beauty.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
very
Beautiful.
good.
Thank you,
Because
ma'am.
that's really important because the foundation that you refer to over and over again are your parents. And
My
I
mom.
could say the same thing in my case with my parents. It's living, especially like living in the country. I wouldn't exchange that for city life for nothing. Living in the country, growing up in the country, you learn so much. Your curiosity is piqued. It's amazing.
Huh. Yes, yes, I believe so as well. And I'm
Yeah.
so grateful to have that great foundation.
Yes.
Speaking of being a mother, I actually need to leave now to be a
Yes.
mother
Yes.
myself. So, Jade, of a 15-year-old,
I
who I think is
know.
also doing really remarkable things. Um, your generation, the will and wherewithal and like
Yes.
just get to itness of so
Yep.
many young women of your generation, it gives me hope on a
That's
regular
right.
basis when I'm out speaking about environmental questions and people are like, what are you worried about? I'm like, I'm actually more hopeful than I am worried because I believe in you.
Exactly.
So thank you
Exactly.
so much for today. I'm going to slip off right now, but I really am so glad to have gotten to spend this time with you.
I think that's a great way to end too, because it ends with hope. Because sometimes when we approach the environment and all of the problems, here we have living proof, living testimony that there is hope and there is hope starting right now.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
know?
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's really good.
yeah.
Thank you so much, Professor Dungy. Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much,
having me.
Nicole Matson. Thank you so much, Jada. This was really good, very insightful. Thank you to the audience, for everyone that showed up, everyone that asked questions. Thank you so much. We'll have the video up later today so that you could play it and replay it at your leisure. If it's Fridays, it is Environmental Fridays. See you guys next week.
Until next week. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.